I'm about to say something that might sound crazy to you. It's been one whole year since Clair Obscura Expedition 33 released. In those 365 days since the release of this game that ended up winning the most Game of the Year awards in history, I've made 18 videos about the game with a total runtime of 6 hours and 53 minutes. To kind of put a bow on this year of Lumiere, so to speak, I thought it would be nice to do a commemorative video. I know that the vast majority of players care deeply about, or at least previously cared deeply about, the endings, so I thought it'd be fun to do a video where I briefly summarize every single argument for each ending in the game. Think of this video as a cohesive rundown and reliving of one of the most contentious debates to ever hit the video game community. Without further ado, let's get into today's agenda. So for the sake of cohesion and seamlessness, I've managed to condense each school of thought down to 10 main arguments. So I'll basically be explaining 10 reasons that people believe in Verso's ending and 10 reasons that people believe in Mael's ending. Now, I want to be very clear here. I'm aware that most of you don't actually subscribe to every single reason that I'll list for choosing your ending. There's plenty of nuance here. So keep in mind that while I'm generalizing by saying Verso enders believe X and Mael enders believe Y, I know it's not that black and white, and in reality, most of us have a unique blend of reasonings for our ending choice. Additionally, I know that while I'm giving the 10 most common reasonings for each, there are plenty more. That's where you come in. Comment the reasonings for your ending that you wish I would have included. Also, definitely let me know which reasonings I include that resonate with you the most. With that clarified, I want you to pay attention as we go through to how much each side mirrors each other and how much each side comes down to different interpretations of the same relatively ambiguous scenes. Let's start with everybody's favorite melancholic enigma, Verso. First, some Verso enders believe or feel that the Faceless Boy, or Verso's soul fragment, is in pain and peril so long as the canvas continues to exist. So for them, erasing the canvas is the operative way to bring peace to Verso's soul fragment. They view the game's ending as parallel to the Omelas dilemma, which in the most basic sense is essentially the philosophical question of whether or not a perfectly happy society is justified if it requires the extreme suffering of one innocent child. Second, some Verso enders believe that Renoir is the most reasonable member of the Desandra family, and they find solace in his steady and stalwart presence, and so they essentially want to pick up the torch of his crusade and finish what he was fighting for throughout the duration of the game. Third, some Verso enders believe that Mael's ending is potentially temporary. In spite of Renoir's statements at the end of the game, many players feel with the utmost conviction that he will come back at some point to force Mael out, which in their view makes Mael's ending a waste of time that exacerbates the situation. Fourth, some Verso enders believe that Mael is emotionally unhealthy, and they feel that her only chance to become emotionally healthy is to move on from her trauma, is to leave the canvas. They feel that's the only route forward to accepting Verso's death, and don't think it's possible that she'd be able to move forward without removing herself from the presence of painted Verso and the canvas. Fifth, some Verso enders resonate very strongly with Verso's line where he says, "You've got this incredible power to paint." And so they feel that Verso's ending isn't condemning Mael to a lifetime of disability and suffering. They think that while Verso's canvas will be gone, Mael will still be able to create new canvases in which she can take whichever form she likes. 6. Some Verso enders believe that Lumiere and its inhabitants have inherently less value than the lives of the Desandras, since they are the created versus creator in this scenario. In combination with that, they believe that Verso's ending is what is best for the Desandras in the long term, so it becomes a no-brainer choice to choose the ending that has the most positive impacts on the lives that have the most value, in their view. 7th, some Verso enders take it a step further and fully believe that the Lumerians aren't real and view them as akin to Sims. They believe that Lumiere and Verso's canvas most seamlessly compares to something abstract, like drugs, and Mael's connection to the canvas as an addiction. 8th, some Verso enders believe that painted Verso has suffered more than anyone and he deserves to finally rest. In other words, he is the chief and primary victim of this game's story, and so his needs should be considered the most of any of the characters. This is most often combined with the idea that he has the most right or ownership over the fate of the canvas, since he is a painted copy of its creator. 9th, some Verso enders believe that in Mael's ending, Lumiere isn't actually restored. They believe that it's basically a bunch of NPCs, and it's the only and it's only the main characters who are brought back, and that the main characters are actually being controlled by Mael. They essentially view her ending as a dollhouse. 10th, and finally, some Verso enders are driven by the abstract belief that if the real Verso is dead, then his soul fragment and his canvas should be laid to rest. With the canvas of Verso's ending painted, so to speak, let's move along to the sponsor of today's video, Mantis Sleep. If any of you are light sleepers like me, or you have trouble falling asleep in your environment, it doesn't have to be that way. Mantis Sleep has everything you need to start consistently getting better sleep, which, newsflash, is just as important to your health as eating food or drinking water. I've actually used Mantis Sleep for years, so I've lived their proof of concept long before I ever even had a YouTube channel. What originally drew me to Mantis Sleep and has kept me with them over the years is their unrivaled comfortability for side sleepers such as myself. The design of each Mantis Sleep mask makes it so that you can rest your head however you'd like without even feeling like you're wearing a mask, which is crucial for me. Perhaps my favorite part about Mantis Sleep is that they have options for so many different scenarios. For example, I got the cooling and heating masks for additional relief on long days, which is actually every day as a father to young children. These things are a godsend for headaches, or if you're like me and get bad sinus pressure when you get sick, these two masks provide instant relief while allowing you to rest your eyes at the same time. They have a silk mask if you prefer that cool, silky luxury feeling, and while the mask I've used for years now is the original, I recently got the Pro, and it is honestly amazing. You can't go wrong with any of the Mantis Sleep masks, to be honest, so I implore you to head on over to Mantis Sleep and use code CURRY to get a discount on your order. And remember, if you improve your sleep, you improve your life. Now let's get back into today's video. Now let's get into the Mael ending. First, some Mael enders are focused on preventing the genocide of the Lumerians, which of course is informed by the viewpoint that the Lumerians are just as real as the Dissandras, the viewpoint that Lumerians are alive. Second, some Mael enders believe that the Faceless Boy actually loves the canvas and loves painting due to his statements throughout the game. They believe that what he's actually tired of is the Dissandra family's conflict and the torture of Clay as Lamp Master, and with that removed in Mael's ending, that he would flourish again and return to what he loves. Third, some Mael enders believe that her ending is the only one that has the potential of positive outcomes for every party involved. With her ending, there's a chance for the Lumerians to continue on living, there's a chance for the Dissandras to reconcile and move on, and there's still a chance for Painted Verso to die and move on. In Verso's ending, there's only a chance for Dissandra reconciliation. There's no chance for Verso's canvas and its denizens to reach a healthy and peaceful state of existence. There's only oblivion. Fourth, building off of the previous point, some Mael enders finish the game, look back across the cast of characters, and have the most faith in the Lumerians to help Mael heal from her trauma. They think of Ciel and Lune's role in stabilizing Mael after Gustav's death, and Gustav and Emma's role in stabilizing Mael after her rough upbringing in Lumiere. Fifth, some Mael enders believe that Mael is an island in the Verso ending. They can't visualize or see her receiving any support from her birth family, so they view Verso's ending as an extremely dire situation for Mael and her mental state, more so than it would be if she were to stay in the canvas. Sixth, following off of the previous point again, some Mael enders think that the grief of losing her brother Verso and then her Lumerian family back to back would be so immense that it's better for her to attempt rehabilitation within the canvas rather than outside of it so she can gradually restore herself. Seventh, some Mael enders have a general distrust for Painted Verso due to his lies and manipulations throughout the game, most prominent among them the fact that he let Gustav die. Eighth, some Mael enders align with Renoir's rationale and view on the situation and co-sign with his final decision in action, which is actually to let Mael remain within the canvas. Ninth, some Mael enders believe that Verso's canvas is worth preserving. Given the fact that the real Verso has died, in the long run when they're farther removed from Verso's death and things are less intense, the Dissandra family will appreciate having his only canvas still so that they can reminisce and feel close to their departed son. 10th, and finally, some Mael enders believe that given the fact that she is severely disabled outside of the canvas, she deserves a chance to live within this canvas. What's in confluence with this statement is the fact that this is the only canvas where Mael can authentically view it as home because she had the chance to grow up in it without her memories, and now both lives are real to her. And so the canvas is just as real to her as the outside world, in other words. So we are now on the other side of the 10 most common personal explanations that I've seen people give for choosing their ending. Y'all know I usually lean in and soapbox the hell out of whatever we're talking about, but I think, I've talked about this game a lot. I wanted to give you all a 1-year commemoration because this game and its story is so special to all of us, but I think I'm pretty close to being out of things to say, so I'll leave it to you folks in the comments to kind of let me know what you think of the list and what you think I missed, and if seeing things laid out and organized like this made you change your mind at all about the ending that you chose. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. It's an absolute honor to be able to create videos for you all. We are now only about 300 people away from 10,000 subscribers at this point on the channel, which means more to me than you'll ever know. I can never quantify what it means to have one person care about the videos I make, let alone the amount of us here now. And I know I'm always saying this, but I have to say it. If you're enjoying the discussions and comments or the videos themselves, definitely subscribe. We'd be honored to have you join us here. There are links in my description to cool stuff, so please take a look if you'd like to support the channel in ways beyond subscribing. Check out the other videos on my channel for more content like this, and have a great day, night, or morning, and remember to be kind and thoughtful. Peace.